I want to thank you guys, all of you. This is a great day. The spring of 2005, I'm sitting in the office with the president, Dr. Jay McGowan. So it's the two of us. The job's over. I'm going to be the next head coach of Bellarmine. And he looked across to me and he said, Scotty, how? What is it going to take for us to be successful? And I leaned forward and I said, Dr. McGowan, it's going to take everybody. And he's nodding his head. He goes, I'm ready. I said, no, Dr. McGowan, it's going to take the players. It's going to take the coaches, the players' families. It's going to take the entire Bellarmine community. It's going to take our entire community of Louisville for us to be successful. It's not going to happen. I said, but I'm going to include a group in this. It's going to take our managers because I will treat them the same way we treat every player, because that truly means it takes everybody. 3 weeks ago, Tuesday, we win the ASUN Conference Championship. In my coaching life, I have been in some of the most incredibly powerful locker rooms ever in any sport, any level. Championship locker rooms to locker rooms of devastation with a gut-wrenching loss. That locker room in Freedom Hall is one of the most powerful locker rooms I will ever be in, not just up to this point, ever in my career. And it was because those players talked about everybody but themselves. I had Ethan Claycomb commenting on Ben Johnson's done such a great job. Man, you have got us ready. The last 3 weeks, he was redshirting. I had players going out of their way to thank our managers. And that's why we're here today. That's how the level of respect they have earned. And in college athletics, it's from their peers. It's not just about somebody who scored, rebounded, defended, because they were an essential part of a championship. This came about a random day 2 years ago. My son Doug called me and says, Dad, I want to run something by you. He said, I think I have a really good idea. And I thought we were going to run X-Pop a different way, or we're going to defend different. He said, we should start the Davenport Family Scholarship. My mind races to endowing a scholarship. And I thought, wow, wait a minute, Doug, you know something I don't know? He said, no, Dad, we should do it for the managers. Now, that's where this was launched. Sharon and Doug, if you all will walk over here, son Russ is working. It's the end of his quarter. So our family of Sharon and Doug and Doug's wife, Alex, Russ, not here, and Ashley and the star of the family, 3.5-year-old Ren, are announcing a Davenport Family Scholarship that will solely benefit the educational expenses of our student managers, also known for now and evermore as BMA, Bellarmine Managers Association. That's their name. But now you say, well, Coach, what's going on? This is about young people being the answer. And I hate to break the news, BMA does not look like LeBron James. Neither did Coach Mike Polio, Division I coach, Division II coach, Associate AD, Power 5 school, conference commissioner, on and on and on. But he was a student manager at Bellarmine University. Dr. Polio, 17,000 some plus employees, roughly 100,000 students in JCPS, a student manager under Coach Knight. He doesn't look like LeBron James either. Look at the value and what he has launched that journey as a student manager. Randy Bufford, I knew Randy Bufford, and I won't describe him when he entered the University of Louisville campus from Georgia. And trust me, his language now is different. He sounds different. He parlays that, and I'll get this right, Cardinal Medical, Trilogy, Synchrony. Now, one of the pillars of this community, a manager on the 1980 University of Louisville National Championship team. I knew Randy when he wasn't Randy Bufford, CEO. I've seen these journeys, and I see them, and I've seen them since I've been at Bellarmine. I go back to being a head coach at Ballard High School. My student manager was named Brian Stocker. Called me on a Friday, and he said, Coach, I want to thank you for everything. I'm graduating tomorrow from the University of Kentucky. Now, the only reason he went there was because his twin went there, and it was a long story. And I said, Brian, I'm so proud of you. He babysit Russ and Doug. He did everything. He said, well, Coach, I got to thank you even more. He said, on Monday, I'm going to work on Wall Street. He said, but Coach Pitino called me to his house last night and gave me 5 of his suits and said, this will get you started on Wall Street. The horrific 9/11 catastrophe sent him back to Louisville, and he's taken off in the corporate world. So the respect for managers and the way that I have always admired them is the grounds of this foundation. And Doug kicked it off. To be very, very simple, our president here, I went from Dr. McGowan, now we'll go to Dr. Donovan. Dr. Susan Donovan was a student manager in high school for the women's volleyball and basketball team, and then did it in college. So you see where these leaders come from. There's NBA head coaches. Frank Vogel was one of Coach Pitino's managers at the University of Kentucky. He goes on and on and on. What separates them? Well, we recruit 24/7 now. And it's not just about analytics, a field goal percentage, a rebound numbers, assist turnover ratio. That's not what is successful recruiting at Bellarmine. What we look for are those extraordinary players who make others better. And what do these managers do that you'll never, ever see in a box score? They make others better. And it happened in that locker room in Freedom Hall when those players, on an incredible journey, winning a conference tournament championship in year 2, were all giving props to our managers. Because that's how young people should celebrate each other. This scholarship comes from the heart. And the reason, they earn it, and they earn it every single day. It's amazing what they do that never, never gets acknowledged. And the Davenport family is going to go out of our way to acknowledge it by creating financial assistance toward their educational expenses at this phenomenal university. Now, I'm going to let you hear from them. A math major, an education major, graduate assistantships are 2-year stints. Rocky Calabrese is our graduate assistant right now. A year from now, he'll have his master's and his graduate assistantship will be completed. I can tell you right now, on March 30th, our GA come next year will be Sheldon Christmas. And right now, I'm going to let him speak to you on just what it is to be a manager here at Bellarmine. Russ, if you come on, you can join me. We have the last component of the Davenport foursome. Come on, Sheldon. Sheldon Christmas. This is from Lagodi, Indiana. Again, a math education major.
So first off, I think right after my senior year of high school, I think it was like on a Saturday afternoon, I emailed Coach. And I said, Coach, I want to get into coaching. Is there a way I can maybe be on as a manager? And I kid you not, a matter of what, 5-10 minutes you responded? And yeah, sure. Be here at camp on Monday. So 2 days later, I was down here at camp. And from that day on, that first day, I knew how special this place was. And to this day, I think that's the best decision I ever made. I'm sure Tristan and Bryce would probably agree with me. Scooter, all the other former managers would agree with me there. Through this, we've created lifelong relationships and memories that will last forever. Coach talked about it in the locker room. I mean, all these players are so great. They treat us no different than each other, other players. The coaches, it's unbelievable. They treat us like members of the team. As Coach said, myself, Bryce wanting to get into coaching, Tristan wanting to get into sports media. You guys have opened up a door for us that we could have never seen possible. So we like to thank you guys for that. And then in terms of the scholarship, by creating this, you guys have created an opportunity for us that none of us could have ever imagined. It just goes to show the greatness of this program, with emphasis that they put on the care and emphasis on each player, coach, manager, sports trainers in this program. So from the bottom of our hearts, we would like to thank you, Coach D, Sharon, Doug, Russ, your wives, all these donors, and then the staff who works tireless hours. So thank you all.
He wrote me the moment he was hired that one of the most powerful, it's still on my desk right now, thank you notes I've ever received. Now, here's the challenge. How? How does it happen? It's a great idea. How does it happen? How come it hasn't happened all over the country? I don't know. I'm not worried. I'm worried about Bellarmine. But I can tell you how. And I'm going to let Doug take this over. But individuals like Mr. Steve Traeger and the Traeger Family Foundation that literally in 10 minutes said, I'll be back with you. And I said, oh, yeah, been put off again. Here we go. I mean, jumped through my phone. And it wasn't the fact, do this and get away from me. It was he wanted to do it. And there's a big difference. No different than Dr. Lynn and Mrs. Lynn in our locker room. It's a difference when you do something because you believe in it with all you have. I'm going to let Doug talk about how we're going to do this. It's amazing. And you know, I was standing there listening to Sheldon, and I think of Randy, and I think of Coach, and I think of Marty. Would you have ever thought in your wildest dreams that this would never? Now, isn't it amazing? And these young people, as I keep referring them to them, they are the answer. That's why you invest in them, because you're going to get that back. All right, Doug, you good? You good to go?
Yeah.
I know we came up with a plan for this, right? Of what my father is establishing a legacy here, and what can we do to enhance that? How can we enhance our basketball program at the same time, and how can we help people? What it really started, and I know he already acknowledged it, but without Mr. Traeger and the Traeger Family Foundation, this is not possible. And to think, like, I think the first time I met Mr. Traeger, I carried his golf bag. I caddied for him in high school, and now here we are. So thanks, appreciate that. But in all seriousness, so we are the first annual. We're calling it, we're still kind of kicking the name around, but we're thinking we're going to go with the Davenport Derby Dash. And we're going to combine, my father only has a few passions in life. We're going to try to combine all of them in one night. We're going to help young people by helping our managers. It's a Bellarmine basketball event. And he's a notorious loser at the racetrack. We're going to fix the third part. So we brought in a few prominent handicappers nationally. They're going to come in and help us out. We have had an incredible response, both in table sales and auction items donated. And it truly is something that's uniquely Bellarmine. It's uniquely the Davenport family. And it's uniquely the city of Louisville. We're going to do this Derby week. We have, the auction items have come from everywhere. And I think sometimes college athletics and basketball probably gets a tough rap. One phone call to Coach Bray at Notre Dame. And he said, well, hang on. He said, you're asking for a pair of tickets? No. He said, how about I just give you my 4 personal seats, Notre Dame, Clemson? We were floored. We thought, wow, that's great. Wow, that's awesome. Then we start kind of calling around. We ask a few other people. And it's very, very uniquely Kentucky. The voice of the Kentucky Derby, Travis Stone's going to help moderate the panel. We have Kevin Kirstein, who is a Bellarmine grad. He's in PR at Churchill Downs. I know all the media guys. You all know him. Dan Cronin, Mick Cronin's brother, who's a basketball junkie. He's going to help us. David Levitch, who played for us at U of L as a walk-on, who now coaches high school basketball. He's going to help us. Somebody's going to give some winners. Somebody's going to give some losers. But we're all going to have fun, and all the money's going to a great cause. And again, like when we talk about, it's a uniquely Bellarmine, uniquely Kentucky, uniquely Louisville. everybody from Mike Bray, Jay Billis is coming into town as a foursome for an auction item. He's going to play golf with whoever wants to bid the most money. If you all got friends, like tell them to, generous, write checks. Churchill Downs has been incredibly supportive. Kevin Kirsian's obviously going to be here. They've donated a suite. Claiborne Farm has donated. I mean, it's literally, it's everything that we're passionate about. We're going to wrap it all up into one. And when we talk about our managers, we have never, as long as I've been here 6 years, 4 as a player, we have never talked about, it's not the players and managers, it's the guys. And we want to treat them all the exact same. And we hope that through this foundation, are we going to be able, if there's one kid, it could be a Jefferson County Public School kid, it could be somebody from out in the state, somebody from wherever. And if we're able to successfully raise enough money that we're going to be able to make a kid, instead of not being able to afford to go to college, maybe he wants to get into coaching, maybe he doesn't. I could care less what they want to do after they're with us. But if they can learn, being part of a team matters. Selflessness matters. Having passion for something matters. And if they can learn that through being a manager for us, and we can make it more affordable for them to provide an opportunity that maybe they wouldn't have been able to have without this, then we've won. And the goal is to keep this thing going. So this is year one. We hope to have, again, the auction items we've been donated, the tables sold out. And credit to our men's basketball donors and our men's basketball alumni. In one email, we only had 22 total tables. Within one email, we had 31 requests for tables. So the response has been overwhelming. And we can't thank our donors enough. We can't thank the university community enough. And we can't thank the city of Louisville enough. This has been an unbelievable, absolutely overwhelming response to this. And we hope it's only going to get bigger and better. And I don't want to sound so black and white about this, but the reality is the more money we can raise, the more kids we're going to be able to help. And we're going to put them through college and start to remove some of the and I think everybody is aware of the financial difficulty of obtaining any college degree, let alone one here. And if we can provide some opportunities for some kids who wouldn't otherwise be able to go to Bellarmine, to be able to come here, and I mean the university, I owe a huge part of my life to the university. Obviously our entire family does. And if we're able to create a situation where we can provide a world-class education in a world-class city with, and I say this, the absolute most incredible, and I'm pointing over here because our players are over there, the most incredible group of young men you could imagine. If we're able to open that door for somebody, then we've done our job. And if we can do it for more than one somebody and we can get to 2, 3, 4, then we've really done our job. So I want to thank everybody who's here today. I want to thank the donors who have purchased tables, the people who have donated auction items. I want to thank my father for being a habitual loser at the racetrack where we had to bring in handicapping experts. And ultimately, this is an awesome day for us. It's an awesome day for our families, an awesome day for the program.